Hi, so LinkedIn have asked me this morning, as they always do, what do you want to talk about? And my thought was, I want to talk about force majeure, council tax debt, bailiffs, luck versus opportunity, and CCJs. And I do want to talk about it. I'm always posting on LinkedIn, and that's fine. But sometimes I think it comes across, and it can certainly come across aggressive when I post. And actually, I haven't met so many of you. I thought it'd be quite nice just to pop up and do a little video. So, force majeure, first of all, a French term that means the greater force. We've got great protections in this country against force majeure, but it also encompasses human actions such as armed conflict. Basically, it's forces that are out of your control. And we're very sympathetic to that. And we've got lots of sort of insurances in place. And we respond brilliantly as a country to natural disasters. But what we seem to do is when somebody experiences a disaster in their personal life that is out of their control, we have a very unsympathetic kind of stance on that. And more often we punish people who experience adversity if they lose their home, because the force is really out of their control. And I think the biggest misconception that we have is that these things are in people's control. And a lot of the time it really isn't. And this is what really drives the work that I do with the Single Mums Business Network, through my own lived experience and through really understanding that there are real barriers at play, barriers to finance, barriers to work, barriers to homes. They're all really interlinked. And when you lose one, you lose another. There's a couple of things. It's not going to be a long video, just a very quick one, just to post. I've just finished reading Adam Peters' book, The Gladiator Mindset. Now, I know I have a gladiator mindset. I don't believe in giving up, and I believe in just fighting to the death, basically. Excuse me, my mascara. And I bought this book about a year ago, and it's been sat on my side. And recently, I could say I've been feeling pretty soul destroyed. Anyway, I picked up Adam's book and I thought, okay, let's give this a read. Let's see what I'm missing. What is it that I'm missing? And it was just wonderful because what he does, whilst he recognizes how important the gladiator mindset is and self-discipline and motivation and determination, he also really eloquently kind of explains that it's not just on you. And this is where we talk about luck and opportunity and equality and, you know, equity and everything like that. We need people around us. We need a support network, or we need access. We either need to come from a place of stability so that we can save up some money in the first place or not get into debt as we start out in life, or we need stability and the premises to work from, or the finance to enable us to set up in business or sustain our business. And Adam talks about he couldn't have done what he did if he didn't have the pool, if he didn't have the nutritionist, the massage therapist, and all of the things that helped him become a champion. He recognized that he just couldn't do it on his own. And it's about opportunity, and it's about everybody needs that equal opportunity. But we're really bad at recognizing when our own kinds of people are just subject to forces out of their control. Their life takes a real kind of difficult turn, and then we just make it harder for them. We just make it harder, and we blame them, and we judge them, and we close every door. And this is a huge passion of mine, is talking about CCJs. You know, I've experienced them personally, and immediately when you have a CCJ, you're treated as high risk. You know, we share data, and that data tells everybody that you're high risk. So doors are closed before they even open. Doors are literally slam in your face. And that's not just for finance. That's for homes. That's for rental properties. That's for membership of professional bodies. So many things, even with the vets. If you need to treat your animal, now bearing in mind, obviously you have an animal when you can afford to have an animal, force majeure, something goes wrong out of your control, Okay, either your relationship breaks down or your partner dies, which does happen. And there are so many, or you lose a job, or you have an emotional breakdown. You know, you need help. We all need help, and we all need support when these life events happen, but we don't get it. We get penalized in every sense. Purple Shoots are amazing. They're the only people who help CCJs and actually look at the story and listen to what's happened. But they're extremely limited and they need an awful lot of support, and they can only take you so far. So Adam Peaty, I mean, I recommend reading it. He makes reference to so many champions, but he also talks about the network that they had around them to help them kind of achieve their goals. It's fantastic. That's why I tagged him. And then another thing that I absolutely love is the Big Issue magazine. I always buy it. I completely respect the street vendors on the street. You know, they stand there hour after hour selling these magazines so that they can earn a living. Where again, for whatever reason, other doors are closed to them. It's also really good if you like working in really ethical environments or not-for-profits, or if you want to work for companies and organizations doing good. There are amazing jobs in here. And obviously they advertise in here because they want to reach the kind of person who cares enough to buy a magazine off somebody who's struggling. You know, you're reaching the right kind of person who really does care about other people. Now then, so in here we're talking about council tax debt. It's a brilliant article, and in fact I found the article and I've linked the article here. So this is what you're going to see when you see this post, is the art. Oh, how can you? Yes, you will. You'll see this video, but I'll make sure I put the link to the article in as well. And it talks about council tax debt. So let's have a look now. The Big Issue: unpaid council tax bills across England rose by 53% between March 2020 and March 2023, from just over 3.5 billion to just under 5.5 billion. That's how many people are struggling. And this is why I like talking about these things, because the one thing we're really good at being British is keeping a stiff upper lip and being really scared to talk about our difficulties and being ashamed to talk about them because we're made to feel ashamed. If something goes wrong in your life and you struggle to pay council tax and you're made to feel ashamed and you're penalised, I'm okay talking about that because I realise that you probably can't yet. But looking at these statistics, I know that a lot of you who will see this will be struggling and you won't want to talk about it and you won't want to admit it. But the chances are, if you're struggling with council tax debt, you're probably also being council tax arrears are ruthless. They are absolutely ruthless. And this is what I love about this article in The Big Issue. And I've seen other organisations campaign as well. They need to change the debt management in this country. Not only do they immediately charge you for falling into arrears, they send bailiffs. You know, I had them come to my home when I was, Kaylin was only a few years old. And, you know, somebody coming to your home and threatening to take what you have, the very little that you do have, and I've always had very modest things in my home. Nothing's new, everything's sort of secondhand. And but they come into your home and they just threaten to take anything that they can. And it's the most traumatic. And lots of people who are in this situation anyway have already been through immense trauma. And you've got these big, strong men coming to your house and basically forcing the door down and saying they'll take whatever they can because you've been struggling. It's so inhumane and it's so wrong. And it's got to stop, you know, and more charges are incurred. Every single time you get a letter or a visit, more charges are incurred. Why are we not helping people who have had... So when I say force majeure encompasses human actions such as armed conflict, this is kind of armed conflict on the grounds, you know, this is because it's on a small scale, we've got less sympathy for it. And because it doesn't happen to us or to our children, we have less sympathy to it. But your children are so vulnerable for this to happen to them. When one human attacks another human in whichever way, shape or form, whether that's domestically in the home or through work or through just evicted, you know, wanting the property back, if it's a private landlord, there are so many things where one person, one human is at the mercy of another human. And then the suffering that follows is immense. And we must do so much better. So the opportunity is the stability. The opportunity is somebody reaching their hands out and saying, I see you falling into deep waters and I'm going to help you out. That's the opportunity. Or the parents who may say, it's okay, we've still got a spare room here. Come and stay, build up your finances, you know, save for a house deposit, save for a mortgage. Opportunity, all of those little things, or maybe that you gained qualifications when you were younger because you had that stable environment, that you're now able to sort of work as a service-based business and not products-based business from home. Opportunity is a very real thing, and I'm so grateful to Adam for so eloquently explaining opportunity in his book, and the things that make some people succeed and the things that make it really hard for other people to succeed, regardless of the gladiator mindset. So with that, please read the Big Issue article, read Adam's book. Please try and see if you can do something to help another person in a more humane way. If you are struggling, which according to these statistics, many of you are, with council tax bills and bailiffs, try and be brave and speak about it, because the more we speak about it and the more we share the inhumane experiences we are experiencing and the inhumane treatment and the enhanced adversity by being charged for hardship, you know, the more we speak about this, the more likely something is to be done. And that brings me to a close. This year, I have asked for help from everybody. You know, I've converted the SMBN to a CIC. People need my voice and my help. You know, I'm not afraid to talk about these things. But I just realised after reading Adam's book that I haven't got the nutritionist, and I haven't got the coach, and I haven't got the pool, and I haven't got the therapist or the massage therapist, all of those things. So I've been reaching out for help. It hasn't been forthcoming. So I'm driving the SMBN forward the best I can. I've incurred debts over the years with it. And the pressure has taken its toll on me to the point where I broke down, and the doctor wanted to give me antidepressants. And I think this is the problem. When you know the problem, when you can identify the cause of your depression, I've always been very good about speaking about mental health as well. When you know what is triggering your sadness and making you break down into tears, I don't think it's very, for this country to hand out tablets that cause addiction, to give a false kind of release of serotonin, or to numb you through the pain. Is that really the correct answer to addressing these underlying issues? We just need the opportunity. We just need the equal opportunity. And we need to understand that when somebody faces conflict outside of their control, instead of judging them and charging them for that, we need to help them out of those deep waters. We need to reach down and we need to help them up. There are opportunities to support the SMBM, do if you can, but that's not really what this is about. I've managed this far on my own and I'll keep going. But it's about more than that. It's about, can we be a bit more vocal, and can we share our experiences a little bit more? Can we help the change? Because the government have had so many reports, report after report after report. There's hundreds of them on my website. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but there's plenty on my website. You've got extremely well-funded and well-organised organisations. You've got the NEF, you've got the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, so many organisations delivering reports and evidence to show what's wrong and to show the solutions. But we're not doing it. Can we please remove the barriers to homes, work and finance? If you're not going to put your hand down and help somebody out of deep waters, at least don't take your hands out and push their head under deep waters. So that is what I want to talk about today. And with that, have a great week.